We are live with another episode of the Brown Water Banter podcast. My name is Jared Seymour.
My name is Joey Cates.
It is Joey Cates, and we got a good show for you in the studio this evening, man. We got Michael and Tyler. We're going to be talking about all things skate parks, dude. Tyler, I don't know, this third, fourth time on the show, I think.
Don't know how that got on.
TV's on. That's okay. What did I say? I got it pulled up right here. Before we jump into the sponsors, I want to pull it up. What did I do?
2018.
Yeah, it was April 21st, I think, 2018. You were first episode, or it's episode 2 of the show. First time you were on the show. So it is now 2025 as we record this, and he is still fighting the good fight to get a official skate park here in Biloxi. Before we jump into the conversation, though, we want to thank the sponsors like we always do right out of the gate. You'll see it come up here in just a second. It is Dr. Robbie Williams over at Southern Magnolia Smiles. If you're looking for a great local dentist, man, you can look them up on the socials at Southern Magnolia Smiles on Facebook and Instagram. When you're ready to book that consultation and get those teeth cleaned up and shining, you can give them a call at 228-215-1202 and tell them that Brown Water sent you. If you find yourself in need of legal representation, Taylor & Cox Law Firm has been practicing law on the Mississippi Gulf Coast for over 30 years. This is our buddy Tyler right here. They specialize in felonies, misdemeanors, DUI, family law, divorce, child custody, you name it.
All kinds of good stuff.
If you need somebody to fight for you in the courtroom there, give them a shout at 228-696-0111. You can also look them up on Facebook as well, Taylor & Cox Law Firm. So tell them Brown Water sent you. And it's January. It's the month of New Year's resolutions. Forever Young Men and Women's Health. This is our buddy Kendrick. If you're looking to get back into the gym, but you don't have that motivation yet, you're feeling lethargic, you can't get off the couch, just feeling like a big turd, give Forever Young Men and Women's Health a call. Book a consultation with him. You'll go in there. He'll draw some blood on you. He'll do some lab work. He'll see if you're deficient in anything. He'll do an overall health assessment. Check it out and see if you're vitamin deficient or hormone deficient. He specializes in testosterone replacement for both men and women. He was on the show. You can go look that episode up if you want to go like a deep dive into all the science behind everything Kendrick's doing over there. But you can book a consultation with him at 228-363-6623 and look him up, Forever Young Men and Women's Health on Facebook as well, and tell them that Brown Water sent you. Coming up in just a few weeks, we have the Biloxi Boat Show 2025. That's going to be February 14th, 15th, and 16th at the Mississippi Coast Coliseum at the Convention Center, the big convention center there. If you've never been, it is a very fun, family-friendly event with lots of boat manufacturers there. They have a ton of boats on display. You can walk around. You can take your shoes off and get in the boat. You can check them out. Joey's made the comment in the past before. I believe you said, Joey, it's one of the few places where if you're looking for a boat, you can actually put your hands on, get inside the boat, see what you do like.
Instead of looking on the internet, jump in there and see what you like about it.
That's right. And you don't have to drive all over to different manufacturers, where they're located. They're all right there in the Coliseum. We'll be there with our booth set up, selling merchandise, going live, we're going to host some like live talks, some Q&A sessions with, do we have those picked out? Anglers?
We have it, yeah, but Ronnie's going to get with me.
Okay. So we'll have some guest speakers. It's going to be a fun time. There's tons of gear there, fishing poles, tackle, outdoor furniture. I mean, it's really just a cool collection of stuff. So if you've never been, I recommend checking it out. Again, that's February 14th, 15th, 16th at the Mississippi Coast Coliseum. So we want to thank all of our sponsors, like Joey said earlier before we went live, for sticking with us and keeping the power on over here at the studio. But so Tyler, like we said, 2018, it's 2025. You were still fighting the good fight. You were on here in this studio. How long has that been now?
It's been basically 12 months. So the last time we were here,
Okay.
And it's crazy thinking back to then
how
to now.
fast that went.
Yeah. It's kind of scary, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it is.
As time flies. So, so what are some of the latest developments since a year ago when you were on here?
So I think a year ago when I was on here, we were just still trying to scramble together, get some money, and get a crew of people together to get behind this thing. But we've exceeded that expectation. And like last year, we started up a nonprofit. So we became a 501c3 officially. And last year we were like, we're trying to do it. And then we did it. And that came with the task of finding a board of directors. And so I got Michael with me, who's been here from basically the start of this whole movement.
Founding father.
Yeah, absolutely. A founder. And then from there, we've taken off to develop the Biloxi DIY skate park, working with Biloxi Main Street Association and the city of Biloxi. Signs are going up soon. There's a work order put in, official signs that say skate at your own risk, and give like some ordinances to the park. So that is as official as we can get with this park. It has 14 features. We raised some sponsorship money from like Yaya Skate Shop, Islander Outfitters, the Greater Biloxi Development Economic Foundation,
right?
Guidry's Flooring. Like, we got sponsors coming in to help and make sure this is awesome. And best of all, last year for the community, we hosted 67 events. We impacted about 1,000 skateboarders in our first year, and we taught about 75 kids to skateboard and equipped 60 of them with helmets for free. We did raffles, giveaways, contests highlighting the awesome skateboarding champions that are in our community.
Right.
So last year we killed it. And like, as we look for this next year, right, we got just as many events planned, even more, and even more ambitious funding goals for different programs and projects that are popping up. So it's just so different from what it was last year.
Your baby grew up.
Yeah.
You had a baby and it grew up right in front of us.
And your baby's growing up.
And I got a baby. And I had a baby last year. Yeah. Well, not me, but you know, I didn't do any of the work. I was just there to catch her.
Yeah, exactly. So it was a killer. For sure, especially for skaters on the Gulf. I mean, and it's not just skateboarding too, right? Rollerblading. I don't know if you don't have bikes in there yet.
Yeah, we BMX dudes come out once or twice. Some scooters.
The scooter kids around.
At least they're outside off the phone.
The scooter, you mean like the little razor scooters? Okay. I've seen some people on like YouTube do some cool tricks with that before.
Yeah, and you know, they're welcome.
Yeah,
for sure. That's really, and when I look at this thing and how we're actually going to accomplish the goal of, so in Biloxi, we're still moving towards that $3 million park build, working with Biloxi Main Street in the city to get it funded. Like, we got to make sure it's as inclusive as possible. I think last year, and I haven't been able to stop saying it, you were like, so you don't care if maybe they had 4 wheels, they took 1 wheel off and ride around.
I said that?
Yeah, you said that. I was maybe it was a little bit more bourbon in you.
Yeah, probably so.
But
say it again. Give it a couple.
I'll probably bring the same shit up just a little bit. Yeah.
So I would say anytime, like, can I rollerblade there? It's like, I don't care how many wheels you have. Come on.
Gotcha. That sounds like something.
Yeah.
Now that was the setup. I get the joke now. Yeah.
But when I think about, when I say that, I just I hope people get that, like, no matter your age or your lifestyle background, like what
skate experience, I would assume, right?
Skate experience, whether you're a novice, beginner, or you're some dude who can do backflip, whatever, come skate and hang. And that's the vibe and atmosphere we try to create, and we've made it as safe as possible. Now, there have been a lot of challenges, but we've been kind of progressing through them and working with the city and talking to community leaders, trying to figure out how we can navigate some of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? How many events did you say y'all did this year since we talked to you last?
67.
67. Can you walk us through like one of your bigger events, more successful events, and what that was like for people?
Yeah. So the reason we have so many events, because we always do our weekly Wednesday night meetups.
Okay.
So they're underneath the I-110 bridge, and then some of our biggest events. First of all, Biloxi Skate Fest is probably our biggest one that we've had so far. I think we had over 250 people, close to 300 for that one, and that one was incredibly special because there was a skateboarder whose name was Steez who passed away.
Right.
And
I saw that.
We tried to carry on his legacy, and we coordinated with his family to be there for whenever we had Welding Willie's, a buddy of ours who skateboards, who started a welding business. He made him a quarter pipe in his honor, and he dedicated it to the skate park and to the Gulf Coast Skateparks Association, and in Steez's memory and name.
Sweet.
His family was there, and I still have the card. His mother came and said some words and presented us with a card. And so beyond like any of the fundraising we've done, we've had pretty good fundraising events, but really those events, and that one sticks out to me because we made more friends and we made more of an impact in the community during that time. Right. We had kids who win a contest, we had adults who won the contest, and then we always start our events off with lessons for the kids in the morning. So that was probably, and then we did Skate in the Coast, and so we went on the news to promote that. And
we did the one over at that what's that restaurant over at Causeway?
Yule's Place. Concerts on the Causeway. Yep. And they raised some money for us, and it was I think we raised $700 on that one.
Something like that. I mean, it was a good event. I think it was probably one of their larger events that they had. We showed out for that one.
I'm gonna
walk us through the skate park for people who don't know the original one in Biloxi. So it's underneath the I-110 bridge. It's pretty much where the farmers market used to be or in front of. And then it's a bunch of stuff that's pretty much y'all made, right? Or people have donated.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So the picture that we're looking at is actually everyone was at the Biloxi Skate Fest last year. So I actually, the guy with the red hat on, that's Steve's father, sitting like you can just see his head at the bottom of the picture. But
a great photographer for that picture too.
Is that you?
Yeah.
I
don't skate, so
I had a camera, not a skateboard. Huh?
And so yeah, everything has been community built, and so and it's grown even to now. We have 14 different features right now, and the thing that has really like caught people by surprise is in December we got an early Christmas present because this guy from Hattiesburg came out of the woodworks and donated a half pipe to the organization.
Sweet.
And we took that half pipe and like a crew of dudes went up there, we disassembled it from his house. He was leaving, so he had to get rid of it and he wanted to donate it. And so we, it's a tax write-off for him to donate to our nonprofit. So we gave him the letter and we took it, we disassembled the park. And then by the afternoon we had it reassembled, and like all that's on my YouTube channel, like that entire
and
process.
skating on it that afternoon.
Yeah, we were skating it that afternoon. And so
I'm sorry to cut you off, but I'm going through your pictures. If you see anything, if you can see from over there, there's a delay from what I'm seeing to what you're seeing that you can highlight for us. I can click on.
Basically, that one where he's pushing his daughter. That's Jacob Germany. He was our I think our Skater's Choice winner for June. So top right hand corner.
See, it's again the delay. Is that the right one?
Yeah. So and this is a pretty common scene, especially lately. Normally we have on our Wednesday nights, like we've been averaging like 40 people to close to 50.
That's a lot.
But when it's been cold, we wouldn't have those kind of numbers. But then what surprised me is we had 13 new kids come out with like their families and stuff. And this is kind of the common theme is a parent is out there showing their kid, how to, you're going to fall, and skateboarding teaches you to be resilient. And like, that's why I wanted to highlight this picture, because it's really families coming together and like teaching their kids to skate. And it's such a community vibe because of that. And people feel safe. So I was really stoked to see this. And Jacob is a phenomenal skater. People's choice skater, not for no reason, but because he rips and people really respect him.
So that's some of the little ramps that were built right there.
Is that him again there? Did I click?
Yeah, that's him.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's getting down.
Yeah. And
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is open to the public every day.
For
is that
free.
correct?
Yeah.
For free. So
For
you don't
free.
have to sign. Do you have to?
Nope.
We talked about that. You just walk in there.
Skate at your own risk.
At your own risk.
So the sign goes up. It should be installed very soon from when this is being recorded right now. And it'll say skate at your own risk. And so it's just like if you were to go to any other public park and get hurt, right? City's not liable.
It's on you.
That's the mini ramp.
All right. Talk to us about that.
Yeah.
So this is a 3.5 foot tall, and pretty mellow mini ramp. It's 8 feet wide, 23 feet long. And typically, if you were to buy this from the specific company, which is OC Ramps, which is out of California with the gator skins and all that, this build will cost you probably about $5,000 ish in shipping and everything to get it. So the fact that we got this for free. And like once I told the people, like the crew of volunteers who came out to disassemble it about it, like they were all like, yeah, we're going to be there. Okay. What's the address? Like, no problem. And so I always have a really good volunteer stream to come and put this stuff together, because these people are so stoked. They didn't have something like this growing up.
Right.
Some people enjoyed the skate park that was on DeBee's, but then that shut down. And because it was kind of it was well at the time.
Pickleball courts now.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
They filled it all in.
I mean, that's neat. I'm not hating on it.
Right.
But
pickleball is sweeping the nation.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
And that's
that.
well, I mean, I think it's kind of because it's a little easier in people.
Than tennis. It's easier than tennis. Is what
that community can, as they're getting older, can ease into a pickleball.
Yeah.
So tell me how this came about though. Where was this the one the guy donated? You said. How did you get a $5,000 ramp for free?
So really come down to the fact that we have spent the last year going so hard at trying to gather up all this influence, right? And we've been using our social media platform, and not just that, like we're trying to connect with skaters in other towns. So Brazen Skate Shop from Hattiesburg, Bubba Dossett, he's the owner of it. When I was first, shout out for sure.
Yeah,
so recently he closed his doors indefinitely. He may be opening it back up soon, or I'm not sure, but it's kind of tough to run a skate shop if it's just for course skaters. Anyways,
damn Amazon.
Yeah, I know, dude.
Right.
Jeff Bezos got us.
Yeah.
So I would, before I started all this, before our podcast last year, I went into a store and just was talking with him, telling him about this awesome thing. And he was really excited for us. He even donated a couple things for us to raffle off and it made a huge impact on us. But because he had that skate shop, someone connected with him and Carlos was his name. He was studying to be a doctor, and he was like, hey, I got to leave and I'd like to sell this ramp. He's like, well, man, I don't know anyone who'd buy it, but I know who you can give it to.
Right.
His buddy that's down on the Gulf Coast, making sure everyone's taken care of in skateboarding. So
Sweet.
he gave him my information, and then we got connected, and then we rolled up there. And Carlos is an incredible dude. Like
Carlos is the man.
Yeah, he just finished his studies to become a doctor, and he finished his studying in Mississippi and Hattiesburg, and he was gonna go on to start his actual practice. And
he needs his hands. He doesn't need that ramp.
Yeah. Right. Well, he said his first day of this doctor specifically said his first day to go do his clinicals, he showed up with a broken collarbone because of
Nice. You're gonna have to get insured, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Insure those hands.
Yeah. So it definitely looks cool, man, on the Facebook page here.
Yeah. You brought up the kids though, to getting people in this, especially the younger group. You always have people there that kind of help out. I'm guessing, like if I wanted to jump out there, or I have a kid and I'm a mom and I don't know anything about it, can I bring them out there and have somebody like take them under their wing and stuff like that?
That's pretty much what happens in like a very informal, casual kind of way. There's going to be some skateboarders there, and we're kind of we're guiding the community so that your normal everyday skater feels like, that would take nothing for me to show him a few things here. Right. A lot of people are glad to do it. We've also taken the time to start up some skateboarding clinics. We'll be restarting them here soon, and that will be just like for the kids. But which I'm really excited to tell you about, is we want to stand up. We have a goal of standing up a program to teach kids to skateboard, like with certified, background checked and insured instructors. We want to raise $20,000 so we can establish this program correctly, have a curriculum, do these background checks that cost money and get insurance that costs money. And so in an effort to do that, we got an event coming up on February 8th called Arts for Skateparks. And so we have coordinated with 15 different like local and renowned artists to donate and pledge artwork that we will put into a silent auction. And
I saw some of that stuff. It's cool looking.
Well, I brought two pieces. So before I pull them out, I've been doing art for a long time as well. So I did the graphics for my old skateboard company, Shotgun Skateboards. And I finished my degree in digital media and web technology. So I just really love art, and I love, creating designs and stuff. So what I'm about to pull up is, before I pull it out, I want to hype it up a bit. So I was stationed in Belgium, right? I'm playing the world's best role-playing game, Dungeons and Dragons, with my wife and my friends, and we do it for 9 months, and we go on this incredible adventure, and we slay the dragon, right? But I'm playing a character, and my wife is playing a character,
right?
So there's a lot of time invested in it. At the same time, we go out and skateboard throughout Belgium and the Netherlands, and I had these boards that I painted. So you'll be looking at prints, but I use these as references to hand paint the boards that I actually skateboarded while I was in Belgium. Okay. So I'm taking all these things that I love in my life that I'm passionate about, and I'm kind of putting them together, and that's kind of what I'm about to show you with these. Is that enough hype?
Yeah, I like that. I'm so in.
I'm drum rolling.
Yeah, I'm in, baby.
Here it is.
Oh, he's taking the headphones off.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had to reach down there and get it.
I think he's wrapped up in the wire.
Oh, okay, yeah. We don't want him to trip.
We don't want him to trip.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Yeah. Point it towards you right there.
No, he's going to do a whole. He's going to do a
don't
whole
reveal.
presentation. Yeah.
He's going to do the Vanna White version of it.
All right. So the first one, his name is Captain Typhoon.
Oh, dude, that's cool as hell.
So he's a swashbuckling, heckling, just a shit talker of a hero. Who's a pirate captain of his 2 ships, and he leads his friends on adventures to go thwart other pirates who are worse than them, right, and steal their ships and gold and booty.
That's right. So, do it for the booty.
So so I hand painted. This one took me about 25 hours to complete, and I hand painted one. So this print will be signed. I'll have 2 versions of that, and the actual board that I skateboarded in Belgium that I hand painted which took me over 25 hours of design and then hand painting to do. So that will be some of the art that's featured. And then
so you drew that on that board first and then put it on an actual skateboard that you skated on, the exact same design?
Okay, so my process is I hand draw it by hand, using some reference images and stuff, like the idea I want to go with. Then I take it to Photoshop and I digitally paint it. Okay. Then I take that digitally painted Photoshop picture and then I use that as my reference to guide me in my hand painted original.
Okay.
Wow.
Cool.
So yeah, so this is going to be the print that was used for that reference. All right, thanks, Michael. This is
next one.
This is Maeve Muckbuckle.
All right.
So she is a gnome, magical tinkerer artificer who uses magic to create like up here in the corner is her magically tinkered created companion that's like a robot chicken.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Robot
literally
Adult Swim.
And so this is my wife's character, and I spent 40 hours on this one, but one because it's my wife, and I really wanted to show her like how much I appreciate her, and like, she was so much fun when she was playing this character, just kind of like really chaotic and blowing stuff up all the time, and
that's killer.
So so I really had a fun time. I think that this one I'm the most proud of doing. And so I, of course, use this as my reference image to paint a hand painted original as well. So, I'm just stoked. So these will be available for auction. Not just these, but we have artists Chris Stebley, who is I think the grandson of Walter Anderson. He has donated some prints that he signed. Rachel Lopez.
Matt Stebley.
No, Chris.
Who's Chris?
His grandson.
Okay.
I think they might. They're
related.
Related. Okay.
Yeah.
Matt's the tattoo artist.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we had Rachel Lopez, who is a local tattoo artist, and she just very lovely. And she came down to the skate park and gave us some prints too. She did a hand painted original.
The dude who did the mural.
Inkslanga.
Yeah.
So there's a guy out of St. Martin. His tattoo shop, Inkslanga.
Oh yeah.
He did 3 skateboards, a mural of like this really, he really loves painting like octopuses. And so it's like this really gnarly octopus with the Biloxi lighthouse in the background. It's got its tentacle wrapped around.
Sweet.
And this dude, he's got an art piece chilling in a studio that's worth over $20,000.
Oh, wow.
He gave us these 3 that he painted and signed. He's giving us a certificate of authenticity, and that's going to be auctioned off. We got sculptors and we got other skateboarders who are donating pieces and other artists that are local. Some have renown, right? They're all coming together to hopefully raise up enough money so that we can start this program. Because at the end of the day, if we start up, we could reach over 1,000 kids in our first year if we got $20,000. And so they see the vision. And all of them are saying they love what we're doing. We hear that all the time from these artists and people around the community. And so we're trying to take that energy and turn it back into, and we're connecting with the art community, and like they go hand in hand.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm just so stoked.
Music, art, skateboarding, all that stuff.
Drawing. So you'll take that and develop does the person coming in, is this all free, or do they pay to go through this course that you're talking about?
So we're still kind of in the infancy stages of planning it, but we have the direction that the idea is we would like for instructors to get certified. So that will cost them a little money up front, but all that money we take is becoming an earned income model for Gulf Coast Skateparks. Then we turn that into skate parks. And then when we have kids sign up, we'll have a very fair rate, but we want, the money that we raise from the kids signing up for them paying to go straight back into the parks. And so that's where we're trying to get to this way of like, we're going to ask for grants, and we're going to ask for help, and we're going to steer community in the best way we can for the positive good for skateboarding. But at the end of the day, we also want to have some weight to us that we have our own money from either merch or from doing these teaching kids to skates lessons, and then taking that and having a little bit in our coffers to then put towards, okay, we're building a park here, and then we're going to continue our lessons here, and so that it can keep growing, and then that money from that park can just hop along the coast and build more and more parks.
You're just doing what every baseball, soccer, football, any of those organizations do.
Is that what they do?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that, dude.
Yeah.
I stumbled on. I don't know.
He's like, if somebody could have told me, I would have said,
What is? How do you certify somebody to be a skateboarder? Like, I know, as me as a coach, I have to go to a clinic or something like that. Is there actually the same thing for skateboarding?
I mean, like, Not really. Like you could just be a skater. Like, and if they like, in fact, they'd probably wipe their butt with a little piece of paper. Some skaters, right? But what we're hoping is that it's not. I don't think anyone cares about becoming a certified skater. I think what they care about is getting those skills.
I meant the coach.
Oh, the coach.
Yes. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
My bad.
Yeah.
So on the other side of things is that I think there are people who want to take what they know about skateboarding, pass it on to the next generation. And so they're going to get, we want to stand up and be a credible organization. Right. There's very few organizations that are doing that. We got Woodward, and then sometimes your indoor skate parks might have, like if they're in a really big city, they might have their own accreditation program for instructors. But we don't have that on the Gulf Coast. Mm-hmm. So the closest I think to that is maybe Water Boys in Pensacola. So you got to drive, 2 hours out of town to get something like that.
But there are in Pensacola, they are already certifying instructors. Is that correct?
I don't know.
Okay, so you'd have to find somewhere to get these.
I know they're hosting lessons.
Okay,
so that we want to make it to where, like, when people hear the background checks, you're insured, and you have a curriculum. Those three things. You're talking about educate. You're talking about mentoring kids, and like, so that in its own is what we're trying. Like, I know it's a really big like goal and vision, but like we're so serious, and we want people to feel good. Like when we're, they trusting us, we have a certain level of trust in our organization and like, goodwill with these families, so that like we've done our due diligence, make sure the right people have been certified, right? And they know based off of how we taught them to teach and a little curriculum, like be like an 8-week, clinic. You come in,
crash course.
Yeah. Maybe one night a week for a couple hours, you work with us, and and then you go home and work on some more stuff. Right. Probably just like
summer camps.
Yeah. That'd be cool too.
That's pretty sweet. So you mentioned since the last time that we saw you, one of the big things was becoming nonprofit status, right? Mm-hmm. And Michael, that's where you come in to all this. Like, tell us how you got associated with this, because you told us before we went live that you do not skate. Is that correct? You're like me and Joey.
You're a non-skater.
I do not step on a skateboard. I got involved in this as just, my son got a skateboard 3 years ago. He's 7 now. So he got a skateboard for Christmas, and he was wanting to skateboard. And I kept telling him, I'm on Google. I'm like, hey, where's a skate park at? Mm-hmm. I knew about the Bees. I'm from here, lived here my whole life. Knew it shut down. Trying to find skate parks. Closest one I could find is like Wiggins.
Dang.
I'm not driving to Wiggins.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I make the mistake of telling my 6-year-old, there's one in Wiggins, and he's always asking me, hey,
can we go to Wiggins?
Can we go to Wiggins? I'm like, Wiggins is closed.
Right.
And so he's always asking
me. The town is closed.
Yeah. So he's always
Wiggins.
He's always asking me, is Wiggins open? No, Wiggins is closed. We're not going. And the skateboard he had was just this little, penny board that my dad got him that didn't even roll. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know what it was. One day I'm looking again on Facebook about skate parks or something, and I see a little thing on Gulf Coast Skateparks Association meet up on Wednesday. So I'm like, all right, dude, we're going to go check out the skateboarding. I said, we don't have a skateboard. We're just going to watch some skaters skateboard, because he watches videos on YouTube of people skateboard.
That's
so
how
we go, and Ty here had like some extra skateboards laying around for people to come out. And there was probably 10 people there. Yeah. And so my son just instantly grabs his skateboard. And I'm like, I don't even know whose skateboard this is. And he's grabbing it, and he's just rolling. I mean, he's getting it.
Sweet.
And so, Ty comes up to me, introduces himself. We start talking. And the next thing I know, like 2 weeks later, my son's birthday's coming up, and I go to Yaya's and spend $130 on a skateboard.
Gotcha.
Because he wants to go skate.
Great dad. Great dad. Yeah.
Got him.
And then we've been going ever since.
So that's where your passion's at. It's
it's all about my kid.
I'm about to cry, because I'm thinking about like, your kid just celebrated another birthday at the park where all the skaters gathered around him and sung happy birthday around a cupcake.
Yeah. So look,
it's like a big family.
Yeah,
for sure. Look, my thing is,
community.
I don't skate. I have this idea of what skaters are from back in the day whenever I was in high school.
Cool as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Sure. Definitely wasn't that.
Right.
But my kid's interested. He plays baseball, he plays basketball, he plays football. He wanted to get into skateboarding. He plays Tony Hawk, because I showed him Tony Hawk. That's all I know about skateboarding.
Right. Same.
And so, and then these grown adults just accepted this 7-year-old kid, 6-year-old kid that knows nothing about skateboarding. He's in their way. He's like, they're trying to do stuff, and he's running out doing whatever, and they didn't get pissed off. They didn't yell.
Whose kid is it?
Yeah, they didn't. And now, whenever we go there, I mean, these dudes all see Killian as one of their own, and they're like, hey, Killian, high five, dapping him up. They sang happy birthday for him whenever he turned 7. you know, I don't want to say he's the face of the youth of skateboarding, but you know, he was probably the first kid, if not one of the very first kids, and the one that stuck with it from the very beginning. And then
an OG now.
He's an OG at 7 years old.
You know, and then we, you know, me and Ty would, I just show up on Wednesday. I stay out the way, and I'm just watching him skate and yelling at him about getting out of people's way. And Ty comes up and asks me if I want to help out and if I'm interested, and I'm like, sure, let's get this going.
And then next thing you know, you're on the board, right?
I'm on the board.
And when you do a nonprofit, and I hear it all the time, and I see it now, especially now that I'm a member of the Biloxi Main Street Association board, and that is a legit organization. They, you know, you need to have a diverse board. If you're all think the same, are the same, how are any of you going to be thinking different from each other? And so bringing in some, like, for sure, you were the perfect fit for this ever since we brought you in. And, you know, visibility from an outsider's perspective is also what we need too. And I think that we've been having a lot of success with the youth because Michael stepped up, and then we all started thinking about it more. And like, honestly, at the end of the day, we're not going to get these parks unless the youth are involved, right? They're not going to make a park for a 33-year-old dude who's good at skating. They're going to make
grow up, dude. Go do something else.
But they see that 33-year-old dude taking the time to mentor a kid. Now that's a story you can sell, and that's for sure. And that's what we want to do. We want to get the kids out there enjoying skateboarding, and like we want the older generation to be passing on the torch to them.
And it's grown so much. Like I said, when I went, it was October of 23. You know, there was my son and maybe one other kid, you know, and it could have been just a dude that was skating that had to bring their kid, and the kid wasn't skateboarding. They were just pedaling around while the dad was. And to where now on Wednesdays, we can have anywhere between 5 to 15 kids skateboarding out there, whether they got a skateboard just for Christmas or they're from a different town. I spoke with some parents. They came from, they live in Florida, but they also live in Pascagoula. Didn't even know Pascagoula had a skate park, but they found out about this place. They were there 3 days in a row because their 10-year-old wants to skate. Sweet. And so they're driving out there. They're sitting in the car while the kid's skateboarding, and they love it. They're loving the fact that this is available for their kid because their kid's passionate about this. Whether it's passionate for just this time right now, in 6 months he may be off of it, or it could grow into something that they're doing for a lifetime.
At least they're off the phone, off the couch, out there. Do y'all have a lot of spectators to come out there and watch? Usually where it starts.
We do have a couple people who are like that. Sometimes they're just curious. Sometimes
there's
just
local residents that hang around too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But no.
But there's speaking of one of them is like trying to police the others.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I thought we would have a problem with that, and really, that I guess is a little bit of a problem, Biloxi, but. There is the one dude. I mean, he snitches on folks all the time.
There's a new program that Biloxi Main Street has set up to where if you collect trash and you bring it down to the Bond Grant House, you can collect a little voucher to go get a meal or go get something from a local downtown business. And I think it's a really awesome program.
That's awesome.
It's one of the things that's kept our park clean, and I've seen him doing his part and some other people following in his footsteps. And I know that, it's not the ideal situation to be, homeless or vagrant, but I mean, this particular guy we're talking about, he's
helping you out.
Yeah. He's been nice and
runs people off. He told me about a car pulled in and tried to park, like a taxi or something, pulled in and parked near some of our ramps because I ran them off and told them they can't park there. I'm like, okay.
The city needs to give them a badge and
and
flashlight. You're the skate park constable or something.
That was my next question. With it being open like that, have y'all had any problems with like people moving y'all stuff or coming in?
Everything stays, right?
So, I mean, people. So the thing. Nothing's bolted down. And so you are afraid that somebody's going to come in and grab it. But the one good thing, it's wood. Right. Not too many people stealing wood. If it was a bunch of metal, steel stuff.
Copper.
We scrap it.
But the good thing that it's not strapped down is that the skaters can come in and they can use their vision and move it to wherever they want to do. To
I'm so glad you see that. You see that from your perspective. So, I was going to say that's what
I went there. I don't even know what I was doing in Biloxi. I was driving down. I went to go do something. I think I had got like ice cream or something, and I was just going to sit there. And there was these two dudes that had tags from Florida or Alabama, and never seen these kids before. Anyway, they had moved some shit and were doing some shit that I had never seen. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
so
So
it's
the park
all,
never looks the same.
no, not
It's
really.
it's
No.
fluid.
There's a
It-
few things that will stay, like
Yeah.
the half pipe. It's nobody can move that.
We
Right.
built a fun box, which is like kind of like a pyramid setup, and like that's not being moved easily. And
Right.
well, on the other side of things is like it could be pilfered for sure, but what we've seen instead, if there's damage or there needs some maintenance,
People
before we even like get a hold of like a volunteer to figure it out, it's
Somebody
dealt with.
fixes it,
Yeah.
yeah.
It gets swept, it gets cleaned up. People are grabbing trash.
Yeah.
Where I didn't expect that to happen. Like, where else are you going to find a situation that happens other than probably in skateboarding, right?
It reminds me of hearing people when I lived in Hattiesburg for a little while. They have a mountain bike community up there with trails that they cut in, and it's like kind of just same thing. People cut their own, like the community cuts their own trails, fixes their own trails.
That's so cool.
It's kind of decentralized in that way, from what I understand.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, there's a couple trash cans out there, and it's surprisingly clean.
Yeah.
For as somebody on the outside that doesn't skate, or with the homeless community in that area, it is surprisingly. I've never found anything crazy out there
Right.
that you worry about.
Right.
And then the trash. I mean, if there's a little bit of trash, there's garbage cans. And everybody picks it, keeps it clean.
Now, y'all are under I-110, like we mentioned. What did you have to get? There was permission from the city to take that little parking area right there, and because you pretty much shut it down as a parking area, right? I mean, because it's like we said, all your stuff stays there, right?
So a couple of things about that. First of all, in Mississippi, I'm pretty sure there was a state law that's like we're not supposed to have any parking under bridges, period.
Really?
And so
what we're hearing.
So that's what we're hearing. That's one thing. But the other thing is they all, when we came online, they were so stoked that we were coming online because they had no idea how they're going to get a skate park in there. And underneath that bridge, there's a $35 million urban revitalization project that's underway right now. They started off with doing lights, they did murals, and as money is trickling in from their grants and their other funding sources, they're continuing to build out things. So they accomplished getting the pickleball courts in. They got disc golf, and then when we came online, they were like, "Yeah, let's work with you and get the skate park going." And so we're in this kind. The idea is we'll build a temporary fixture, the DIY community built skate park, as we work towards the goal of building this $3 million park. Because what you get, one, is you collect the data. How much is it getting used? Like, how is it?
What's my investment worth?
This is your test run too. And we have all this data and like these anecdotes that we're telling you now. That's just with a community built, like worth less than $10,000, right? That we built. But still a killer park that people are leaving. Florida, I didn't get to tell you this. These family that came from Minnesota was skating. We
had that one professional skateboarder that came through the area and stopped and found out.
Megan Guy, she was the 4th ranked Olympic female skateboarder. She came, hung out with, just accidentally took the wrong ramp. Her family's from, her mother lives somewhere nearby. She just happened to be visiting her mother, takes the wrong ramp and sees the skate park and has to stop.
Wow.
Lo and behold, it's a Wednesday night. We're all there skating.
What?
And we're going to Alter Reality afterwards for an after party. Yeah, Alter Reality, shout out.
I've seen that place, but I've never been.
It's really fun.
it's
Jason,
a brewery?
the owner, it's a really awesome brewery. And they do kickflips and sips with us. We'll probably be kicking them up back up in the summer when it's warmer. But she comes and plays a game of skate with our crew. And then Andrew Buras, our vice.
Skates like horse.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's like in basketball.
I had to learn that too.
Dumb it down for us.
Well, Andrew, he plays against her, our vice president, and he wins a very difficult game of skate against her. And, it was just a really awesome, but it's not like we were like hoping she'd lose. It was like one of those things in skateboarding. You always hoping that somebody can land their trick. It is so cool. But all these things get to happen because we have a DIY. But imagine the opportunities that could be there if we had that $3 million park. We could host an I think I said this to you last time. We could host an international level event, have people come in from all around the world to enjoy our little gem of skateboarding underneath that bridge. It's shaded all year round. We could host incredible events. We could, our programs, like, we're doing it DIY. Some of it, needs maintenance all the time. Concrete park, it's all smooth all year round. As long
but even on that with the contests and stuff, but like Birmingham has, from what I looked at, I haven't been up there, and I want to take my son there because I think my son would enjoy it. But it's underneath kind of the same thing, underneath their main interstate that goes through. It's a huge park, and they did I saw a video where they did they did some sort of like invitational for disabled people.
I mean,
missing limbs. I mean, there was a dude that had half a body out there.
Right. But still wanted to get out there and grind.
Yeah, and just little things like that, because it's inclusive. Like skateboarding in your head is, with your feet, wheels, but it's all inclusive and anybody can do it.
Yeah.
And that was the cool thing that that Birmingham did that I think we could do here.
That's kind of what they're modeling their project a little bit after they saw what they did there, and it cleaned up their city. And they have, so the plan one day will eventually include security that just cleans up and polices and keeps people moving if they're not, if there's an element lingering that shouldn't be. And that provides a safe area that people can come and enjoy your city, have a nice stroll underneath this well-lit bridge with all this nice landscaping. And, there's a skate park here. There's an amphitheater here. And we have that river or the back bay. And they plan on putting it here in Biloxi a kayak launch point and basketball hoops and all these things. So all these communities can start overlapping, and you can build a really nice, vibrant community underneath that bridge. And skateboarding is playing a huge part of that right now.
Yeah, a safe place to bring your kids. You just drop them off and hang out and do whatever you got to do.
I got the park is going to flash up over here in just a second that we talked about. The one that I passed by in Key West, Florida, when I was down there. Can you tell us, like, when it comes to you mentioned a $3 million vision, how does this rank for people that don't know? Our community is more outdoors, fishing community. You can see it here visually if you're watching on the video, the live stream here. Where does this rank in what you're talking about? How would you compare this to what your vision is?
To me, this is kind of like what we've already built a little bit, because this is your prefabricated build. It's cool.
Okay.
But I think this is a stepping stone to that permanent, because this is semi-permanent. All that can be disassembled and hauled off. We're talking about something that's all concrete. So this is American Ramp Company. I actually spoke to them a couple months ago about potential ramps. So they work with cities and try and pitch this to them. It is a lower cost, but it is not what is ideal.
So this is cool, but it's not really what you're hoping for.
But on this same website, they likely have like their concrete builds. And like I showed you that one in Luxembourg, I don't think it was them, but like an all concrete park, you can do so much more. It's going to last way longer. The reason that this park doesn't last as long is because, especially in the Mississippi elements, right? It's going to rust, going to deteriorate. Those bolts are going to rattle loose, and like it's going to need constant maintenance. And that's kind of what was part of the downfall of the B skate park. And it does take, some like if you're running this situation, you're going to have a sustainment plan, right? What's your long term? A concrete park, your sustainment plan, right, is going to be
just sweep it out.
Yeah, it'll take a little less maintenance over a longer period of
You
time.
could patch concrete.
Okay. And are this is wood right here?
It's a common. It looks to me they probably have
gator
skin surfacing, which is a type of wood composite, and metal.
Like Wiggins has something similar to this. It's all metal.
Okay.
And it's super slick. Like Wiggins finally opened up one day.
It's open.
and I took my son up there. And it's all metal and it's super slick. It was dewy and like.
That's the humidity down here is probably killer on any kind of skate park.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go to the next one of the ones that we looked at before we went live. I think this one is part of the Luxembourg, at least on the website. I don't know exactly how we stumbled upon this, but talk us through this one. This one's obviously indoors.
So, the reason an indoor park is preferred is because it's climate controlled all year round.
Right.
Another benefit
rain
of it,
problems, temperature. Another
benefit of this one that I think people aren't thinking about, and often, unfortunately, I think women are often not thought about in this kind of environment when we talk about sports and stuff. It's more likely a woman is going to go and skate this park because there's probably security here. It's well lit, and they can control the environment they're in. There's a little bit of control over it. Versus going to an outdoor park, they might not feel safe to go by themselves. So that automatically has such a huge plus to it. But you have overhead. If you own this park, you're gonna have to keep up that maintenance on the facility. But it does give you the control to kind of guide like community events and do things inside your own warehouse. So, you want an indoor park to be located somewhere where the most people can reach it, so the most kids can come out and skate and be impacted by an awesome skate park. But that means
more money.
Warehouse space ain't cheap.
Right.
And then that's a constant bill. unless you
power,
own it.
water, sewer, because you have to have restrooms in there. You have to do all the other stuff, I'm sure. So
Okay, so we're gonna flash the next one on here. Now, this one I believe is the one from Luxembourg. You said that you were able to skate when you were in. This was in Belgium, or no, right next to Belgium.
Yeah,
correct?
so I was stationed in Belgium for about 3 years with my wife, and while I was serving active duty Air Force, and we would go out and explore almost every other weekend a new skate park. And out of all the skate parks I've probably ever been to, this is the best one. Imagine you driving up through up and down mountains and hills, and then you come across this ancient bridge, which is where the photograph is actually taken from. Looking down at the park is incredible because it's the perfect blend of, you got street components, you got ledges, stair sets, rails, all my favorite things, a really nice couple different size bowls. And this park in particular it considers the scale inclusive, the skill inclusivity, meaning a beginner can go there and get down, and someone who's really advanced can go there and get down. All have the same amount of fun, just at a different skill level. And that is one of the rarest things in skateboarding, is to find something where somebody clearly thought that out. And like when you go and look at all these features, all of it just like looks like an incredible urban landscape too. So it's like aesthetically pleasing. I know it's weird to talk about energy and vibes, but it's real. Perfect. It's right. Yeah.
It's real. So that was one of your top
number one. If I really top three, if not number one. Number one. Yeah.
This is the one that has the restaurant or the bistro connected to it.
For an indoor park, that'd be Area 51.
Oh, convenient segue there.
I talk about it all the time.
There it is.
That's what I do.
So Area 51 is this really, oh man, just looking at. So I think from here you can see glass windows overlooking the top of the skate park. So there's a mezzanine. That's probably the best feature of this park, is people can enjoy looking on into the skate park while they're enjoying a panini or a beer with their friends, or maybe they're there for as a family member supporting somebody. But then you can look down into the skate park, and this is a massive skate park where they're hosting all kinds of lessons for skateboarding, rollerblading, scooters, BMX, any kind of sport that's in that realm. You can do it here. I mean, like one of the best, and like Europe, man, I like to say sometimes they're still stuck in like the late 90s and early 2000s. And like, this is like one of the coolest things about them, is that they're still like really hyped on this, and it's located in the perfect like downtown area.
It looks really cool right there. You can see, click on it, make it more.
It's so sick.
I mean, that's legit, right?
So that's your vision, correct? But if you had a perfect vision, that would be yours.
So I think the perfect vision is multiple of these.
Right.
So we have, like, if I'm looking at the vision, right? Since we brought up vision for the Gulf Coast Skateparks Association, our vision is 5 to 8 like state-of-the-art skate parks, leading to us becoming a new mecca for skateboarding here in America on the Gulf Coast. And, we want to see 10 times the amount of people skateboarding and enjoying it. And like at the end of the day, what you get from people who skateboard is you get more resilient, positive, and confident people. Right. Because skateboarding teaches you that. You're going to fall 1,000 times before you figure it out. And the Gulf Coast specifically, right? We got hurricanes. We have all kinds of like Katrina and all kinds of tragedies that have hit our communities.
We just had Snowmageddon.
People didn't know how to drive, and it's tough. But the thing about skateboarding is it teaches you to bounce back from difficult times. You can't control everything in your life, right? And in skateboarding, you can fall from a pebble, right?
Yeah.
And it teaches you to get back up and enjoy it and find your way to like, how can I fix what I can control right now? How can I learn from this, right? And it also teaches them to be confident as they're going, as they're learning these skills. It has a compounding effect. They feel more confident as they ride, as they learn tricks, and they get positive because, they can see a future in which I can learn something new. I can challenge myself, and it can go my way. And I think that's something we need for our community. And that's part of our big vision in terms of growing a skateboarding community, right? So we want to build these parks, have 10 times the amount of people skating. We want skate shops to be carrying all the new product and the product that could keep the industry going down here. And then our business owners who are skate, like Islander Outfitters or Yayas, skate shops that are down here are thriving because they got a community that they can support. There's a need for their boards and stuff. And like it all would work together. And like, building these parks along the Gulf Coast and building up these lessons and having all these people learning how to skate, like it's really my dream. And so when we talk about an indoor park or an outdoor park, all of it just goes towards that direction.
Yeah, you keep
Just wanna
saying
park.
you keep saying it though. It's community, right? Because you're building your community of people like we said with your son. I mean, it puts kids who maybe even don't have a great family life or a great situation. They get to make relationships with people that are hopefully mainly positive people, which I'm sure the community is, right? And like you said, teaches them not to give up, teaches them to persevere. They learn a trick. They say, hey, or a skill, I should say, and they can say, hey, I can learn something. You know, I do have worth, and it can become their identity. I mean, it's everything positive can come from that, whether it's skating, fishing,
not
football, baseball.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Not everybody's an athlete in that sense of basketball, baseball, football. It just gives you another outlet to go ahead and be team sport. I mean, not team sport, but connect with other people. It kind of is a team though.
Yeah, because you think of like I always revert it back to like the jiu-jitsu community. You think of that as like a one-man sport because it's you against another person. It's a team event because you train with your partners. They root you on when you're there. Like, they help you. Correct. Yeah. And the only way you get better in that sport is by going against someone else and then them coaching you, saying, hey, you did this, you didn't do that. I'm sure skating is the same situation, exactly, right? Hey, this trick would be better if you did this or you messed up doing that. Is that how it goes?
The guys who are able to do that and like not only pick up on the videos where people are doing it, but like talk to people and get that feedback and take it and like internalize it, they're able to go way further. But there was something you said about like, some of the kids don't have like the best means. We got 15.7% of Biloxi lives below the poverty line. And, kids are a part of that, those families.
Right.
We have a couple of kids who've been showing up at the park. They don't have a board, but they keep showing up on Wednesday nights and we make sure they got a board. Do you know who Logic, Bobby Hall? He's a rapper.
Yes. Yeah, dude, absolutely.
I read his book, This Bright Future. And the whole first half of the book is talking about how terrible his life was growing up on HOC and welfare, drugs and guns and all kinds of violence happening around him in his community. He lived in the hood, the heart of the hood, right? Yeah. And they say people don't get out of that situation. But in the book, he's just going to a really dark place and telling you in vivid detail all this stuff about his life. But music saved him. But he said in the book that skateboarding saved my life.
Oh, yeah.
He was getting into he would go to this one indoor skate park, and it was one of those things you had to pay $3 to come and skate for a session. And he just loved it so much that all he would do was stand out the windows and watch people skate. And the woman who kind of ran the counter one day just came up to him and handed him a season pass to come and skate.
The golden ticket.
Right.
And when I read that, my wife, she's like, what's wrong with you? Because I'm literally sobbing. Yeah, I was, because I'm thinking like, that is what you and I and all the people who are behind the Gulf Coast Skateparks Association is doing right now. We're giving those opportunities to kids who I have no idea what they're struggling with at home. Like their family, their parents maybe not know how to do it, maybe neglectful. They might come from some sort of background that's super tragic, but this skate park is free and there for them to work through that, to escape that even for just a moment, to enjoy it. And in Logic, he said it saved his life. And when he said I had to stop, put the book down and like just try and collect myself, because I'm going through this experience where I know that I can't, there's so much terrible stuff that's happening. Kids, worst of all, like they don't have any influence in the community they grow up in.
Right. They don't have a choice,
but we do. Right. We are adults who have money and we can talk to people and advocate for them now. And so that's another layer of passion on top of this after reading that.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's usually the kids who, like you say, like who don't have, who those type of kids value it more when they get whatever it is, whether it's, sports or skateboarding, whatever, they latch onto that thing and they become obsessed with it because it pulls them out of that environment, that negative situation. Right.
Yeah.
You mentioned parks. You're working on the other one in Biloxi. There's some more on the front, right?
I'm so excited to talk about this because we built the Biloxi DIY skate park. It's a temporary fixture. We're going to head forward with Biloxi getting that concrete park built. But there's a couple of aldermen from there's an alderman, Rob Blackman from Ward 5 in Ocean Springs, who we just walked out. I got a picture of us out there talking to him about the location on Lemoyne Park, where there's a swing set. They're going to move it and give us a strip of land to develop to a 5,000 square foot strip of land. We can make a small to medium sized skate park there.
Right.
We have a couple of mock-ups we've been looking at, but really we got to get the community input first. So that is our first stage. So we have a meeting this Saturday at noon. Shout out to any skateboarders who are watching. Show up at the grocery on our government grocery in Ocean Springs.
Okay.
We're going to have a meeting to talk about what kind of features, what do we envision this park to be, and then take that community feedback, distill it into a design, then continue to work with them and their grant writers over there in Ocean Springs to do this funding. We're looking at what kind of what strategy should we do? Should we do a pop-up park? They already have the land. So that's kind of like one of the major obstacles. The hardest obstacle and most of the time is that a lot of cities want it. They just don't know where to put it. But this is it's perfect spot for it. They just move this, nice swing set, put it on the other side. Perfect strip of land.
Where this is the city of Ocean Springs who has this land?
Yeah.
And where is it at?
Lemoyne. It's called Lemoyne Park.
It's right behind Walmart.
Yeah.
So Walmart right there on 90, behind and block.
Yeah. I know.
Between them and the baseball soccer fields, Jackson County soccer fields.
Yeah.
That's something else.
So not to get confusing, but it's a little confusing. We're building one on Lemoyne, which is Lemoyne Park, which is in Ocean Springs proper in Ward 5. So it's
a block off of 90 behind Walmart.
In Ocean Springs. This other opportunity, March 29th, we're doing a pop-up skate park event in St. Martin at
Lemoyne Sports Complex right there.
It's the West.
Okay.
It's called the West Jackson Soccer Complex.
Yeah.
But it's right. You couldn't be any more west in Jackson County. And this opportunity came up to us because Chris Boget, our secretary of our organization, and Matt Hosey, project manager for Jackson County, they've been working together tirelessly for the last couple of years to try and get a situation to pop off. Well, they allowed us to come in and give a presentation to the Board of Supervisors over in Jackson County, where we educated them on the successful year we had, and taught them, kind of educated them about what we were doing, and then made a proposal like, hey, we could come in and do a pop-up event. We can collect some data, and then let's take that data to see if it's feasible to do a temporary DIY park, follow our strategy. And then from there, that'll be temporary till we get the permanent fixture. So there's a potential for $30,000. They're looking at that could be used to design the park, and then we would continue from there to fund to gather funding for the actual build of that park as well in St. Martin. But in the meantime, the immediate future, March 29th, a new pop-up skate park that's a community-built one is coming online March 29th, and we're gonna have a pop-up event, push for skate parks event will be March 29th right there in St. Martin.
Sweet.
Okay.
That's where we went to school.
Yeah,
we literally went to school and played football there.
Where St. Martin High School?
Yeah, on Lemoyne.
Oh, okay.
Middle school.
Okay.
It's two different Lemoynes.
Yeah, two different.
Right. No.
I know.
He was confusing me at first with the Lemoyne Park, but I looked it up. I couldn't find a good picture. I was going to flash on the screen. But the new, it's tiny. It's on Ocean Springs. You wouldn't be able to see it very well. But so, I understand where that's at now. But the pop-up event March 29th, where is that at?
The West Jackson Soccer Complex.
On Lemoyne, where we went to middle school.
Oh, where Avery goes and. Right where they practice soccer, right there. Okay,
literally, if you were to walk another 100 feet, you would be back in D'Iberville.
Yeah,
it's that close to the
Boot Hill, St. Martin North.
We're going to kind of do like what we're doing in Biloxi. They're going to give us a spot in the parking lot, and we're going to bring some stuff over from the DIY and do our event there.
That parking lot's kind of small, no? Or is
the north parking lot's not?
So
they have an east parking lot where the little running track is.
Yeah.
Now, and then they have a north parking lot that's pretty big.
Now, to tell you the details of it is where the challenge course is. There's a really big parking lot, and that's where we're going to do the temporary pop-up. Now, the part that they want to develop, they're looking at developing pickleball courts.
Yeah,
which is good. It's good.
Growing fast.
They're going to develop some. There's an empty field that's undeveloped. They're going to turn it into a bunch of pickleball courts and give us a sliver of land that is going to be turned into a skate park.
That's north.
That's
in that
park.
That's where our old gym
side.
was.
Yeah,
the old middle school gym.
Really? Okay. I mean, it's cool to talk to you, figure out the history of this stuff.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of more people from this area are going to be able to relate to that.
We had a football field right there.
Yeah.
We had a middle school right there. All
7th, 8th, and 9th grade for us, and our parents went to that exact same school, and it was high school for them.
Yeah, it's crazy.
10th, 11th, and 12th. But anyway,
Yeah.
Katrina changed all that, and now you put a skate park there.
Yeah,
Right.
and if it's
Thanks,
concrete,
Katrina.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
if it's concrete, it should stay.
It'll be
Right.
there.
Yeah.
So that's the level that y'all are thinking there. You're going to start DIY, same as Biloxi, and then hopefully get it to the concrete.
So some of our features most of our features are going to remain in Biloxi, and we're going to bring a couple elements to just get it started. And we do have some materials left over from previous projects, and we're going to collect some more. We're looking for some sponsors to help us.
Shut up.
Yeah, anybody who wants to connect with us
Anybody.
before March 29th, who want to help get us a couple of elements to stand up this temporary park, right? It'll remain there until that permanent park gets built. So
What does that entail for people who don't know what skateboarding is?
So it would entail, the features that are already built, haul them out there, truck and trailer. But then building like a ledge, right? It's just like building a box. So if you got basic carpentry, like we've got guys who are incredible carpenters, Jamie Guidry, who's helped us build some of the ramps we've already flashed on the screen. He and others like myself and William Perry, we've been building, like most skaters have been building ramps their whole life. So we're kind of, we're making sure it's quality, right? Because we got a lot of experience there. And especially from the last year building stuff, we build ledges and ramps and connect them together. And then the main thing is we got to make sure that they have good surfacing on top, especially in the Mississippi and southern and coastal climate, a lot of rain and weather. So that those gator skins, something we mentioned earlier, it's like a composite wood with wood and plastic. So it lasts a couple years longer and that elements, and it also takes the beating from the skateboard. So,
But it's not cheap.
Yeah. And you have to get it from California. It's like $200 a sheet, and you have
$600 for shipping.
Yeah, the
no matter
shipping.
whether it's one sheet or 200 sheets.
and there's no one local that distributes it. So when we got that mini ramp from that guy Carlos, he had a couple extra sheets, and we raised over $2,000 to get some sheets sent to us prior to that.
Right.
But it does take a little bit of logistics to get that stuff, but we have the right guys. Like if I'm like in this meeting Saturday, I'm imagining we're going to tell them and we're going to have a couple people stand up, have a volunteer stream of amazing skaters who want to build some stuff. We'll give them the materials, kind of like, hey, let's talk about a plan. They'll come together, put that thing together, and takes like an afternoon to build some of this stuff, and some of them can do it independent of each other, right? We haul it all out there, or maybe we all show up and build one big thing. Yeah. It just depends on.
So if I'm a business that doesn't know the skating game, I could just give you a $250 Lowe's card and say, here you go, man, go buy what you need.
That would be killer.
Absolutely.
And since we're a 501c3, we can turn around and hand you a receipt, a donation receipt. So whether it's if you just buy the material and give it to us, or if you want to give us a donation to our website, the Gulf Coast Skateparks Association.org, anyone can go to our website and they can see where you can leave a donation. The recurring donations are probably the things that help us the most because we can plan for the next quarter. But if somebody would we want to establish some relationships with people who hear what we're doing and see the impact that we're having, and maybe they want to make a larger donation. That's what we're really looking for. That's what's going to take us across the finish line in all these different aspects that we're firing off on right now.
So I'm hearing you're doing the Oceans or the Lemoyne Boulevard thing. You've got the Biloxi thing going on. When timeline wise, what's your, let me see how to say this. So when do you think the bigger park, what's the timeline on that? Your goal park? Are we 6 months, 1 year, 10 years, 5? Where are we at away from
Biloxi,
that? And where would it be?
Okay.
In your mind?
Biloxi DIY Skate Park is going to be in place where it's at and to replace what's there. My goal is before 2027.
You said DIY.
Turning the DIY into that professional
okay.
concrete state-of-the-art park. That's the goal for all of these at the end
By
of the
27.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finished.
Hopefully.
And that's concrete park, all the bells and whistles that you want.
But that's very aggressive.
Okay.
The Lemoyne one, because they already have the place, and because
Lemoyne Park.
That's the Lemoyne Ocean Springs.
Lemoyne Ocean Springs Park.
Yeah.
I know it's kind of confusing.
Yeah.
And I could pull up the address here in a second, but that one has a lot of energy from the alderman.
Okay.
Like knowing kind of where he may be able to request some funds, move some, and also the funding sources and the grant writers,
right.
Kind of like directing them in that direction. I feel like that one come on just as soon as the St. Martin, and I'm not sure. And I kind of hope it's like a competition. Who can get the skate park first? Because that's who wins, right?
Yeah, it come online as soon as the Biloxi one.
No, St. Martin. The one on the other Lemoyne.
Like the permanent concrete parks.
So that was going to roll permanent pretty quickly too. Then,
yeah. I'm not sure timelines on all this stuff.
Right.
And
I know you're
it all comes
estimating,
down to where we can get funding from. And so and that's one of our challenges right now. We are putting in grant applications during this time. Some of them, the main ones that people are always like, hey, you should talk to Tony Hawk. I was like, well, okay, yeah, we are writing a grant.
You got his number?
Everybody's like,
oh, why did I not think of that?
Yeah.
So he turned his, he had a nonprofit, the Tony Hawk Skate Park Foundation. He turned that into the Skate Park Project Foundation. And so they do $25,000 grants. So we're going to be applying for that one. So that's just a chunk, right? So it's a good chunk, but one of the main ones that we're trying to attack is Kellogg's, like the cereal.
Frosted Flakes.
So last year they donated, hopefully I'm not mistaken, $400 million in 1 year last year to all kinds of programs and projects, nonprofits, not just like Mississippi was one of the main ones. I think Arkansas, they got a bunch of different states that they were opened up to give money to. So we're going to be applying, and like we're talking $1 million grants. And so that's going to be one of the main ones that we're going after.
I found that one. I don't know if we even really apply for it, but
NRPA.
Is that the one for the
National Recreation Park Association?
Yeah.
So I did start. Yeah. So Michael found an opportunity. Sorry,
might be a loophole, but we're
we're all about loopholes.
We're about the community, and we're about teaching kids and bringing kids up in skateboarding. And I was just looking online, like grants for skateboarding, grants for parks, blah blah. Right. And I found one, and again, I don't even know the name. I'm just at work wasting time. But it's a $60,000 grant that goes towards mentorships.
Okay.
So we're trying to mentor kids. I mean, that's one of our main goals.
Yeah.
And it's $60,000 for a park mentorship.
Yeah.
For the gist of it. I mean, he's the smart one. He went and looked more into it, but that's what I got out of it. I'm like,
I got on the website. Just spoilers. I know it's been a second since we talked. I got on the website and started to fill out the application. There's a couple other things we got to do. We got to get letters of support, and so I already blasted out emails looking for letters of support from. You got to have community leaders. If there's other partners out there that want to help you, and then you have to have like some buy-in from city officials. So I'm sending out those emails, and if anyone would like to help us and know somebody who works in those realms by getting us a letter of support, that's something that we do need, because that's going to be what gives us credibility when we go to ask Kellogg's, can we have $1 million grant? They'll be like, yeah, but who's backing
we
you?
might know a couple guys work for the county.
Yeah,
that's what we need.
It sounds like
on the show before.
You've made some good connections with all your Ocean Springs and Biloxi people, right?
Yes.
Councilmen and ward leaders, right?
Yes. And so we want to continue working with them and asking for those letters of support, and then turning those back in so we can get, these grants rolling and work with so there's a lot of, it's crazy how much I've learned about doing nonprofit stuff in the last year. So that's kind of where we're going to be. That's why we made the nonprofit, so we could go grab that money, do as much of the legwork as possible. At the end of the day, the cities and the communities and the skateboarders, they're the ones who benefit from our effort. And finding these opportunities, and we do need more people to help us like going after these grants. So we got communities that are stood up or standing up, that like we got a committee for helping us with grants and stuff inside our organization that we're relying on to go after those too. So
sweet, dude, you're doing it, man. You're fighting the fight.
Yeah, run us back on the Oceans, because this is the one that's coming up, right?
Yeah,
the Ocean Springs one. That's at the grocery.
So if you show up to Ocean Springs tomorrow for our members meeting,
it's tomorrow.
Yep, tomorrow at noon at the Government Street Grocery.
Okay.
We're gonna be having our normal meeting, but one of the highlights is talking about the skate park that's popping up that we're like building like with the city. We want to get that input, and I mean on my phone right now I can show you after this. I got a couple of mock-up designs that we were tinkering around with just as a talking point and a starting point to like, hey,
he's got this thing built already.
I went on Tinkercad.
PowerPoint presentation of all
that's how I work.
He sent us a picture and it's already built. It's like, okay.
I like Tinkercad. It's good stuff.
I mean, that's my goal, is like I want it to be so legit. Because at the end of the day, we do our jobs good. All these kids can benefit from it. So I try to exceed expectations. So like when the alderman was like, hey, yeah, maybe we could make a mock-up. And I was like, well, what would it take? I got a 3D printer. I could probably figure something out.
I didn't realize that he could even fit this much stuff in the space that we got. So even if we got half of whatever he mocked up, I think.
Is this a picture you have?
You want to see it?
Well, we can't after
I can flash it to the camera.
Well, and you can drop it in the comments on this live stream once we're done. I just dropped a link to your Facebook page.
Yeah.
went through right there. So anybody that watching on the live, just jump in the comments and go give them a follow on Facebook. And I'm sure that's the best place to stay up to date with all of your meetups and events that y'all do. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Our Facebook, we got an Instagram. We do have a Discord server, and we often blast out when people can jump in and get more involved with the community. That's where we kind of put like, here's our agenda. Here's like the actual, like because when social media, I'm trying to like blast out all our information. Like right now we're doing t-shirt sales
There you go.
for the Arts for Skate Parks right now.
Right.
And then the cutoff for purchasing a shirt will be the 31st to support that.
That's
project.
in our fans of Brownwater. If you want to find that, the
Okay.
link is already shared.
I'm
there,
always
so-
Yeah, that's what it's
that's
for, bro.
fine.
That's
Yeah.
what it's for.
Blow it up.
I appreciate it. And I'm so just one sec, like the Brownwater banter, like y'all got so many followers on Facebook and on YouTube. Like it's insane how much y'all have
We've been
grown.
at it for a little while.
Yeah.
And you know, because you were on episode 2 and
Yeah.
you've seen this since the beginning. And that goes back to me, like talking about y'all with the skateboard and stuff, the community that it builds. I mean, that's how you and I met each other. You know what I mean? Now I've known you for 5-7 years.
Yep.
That's kind of weird to say out loud,
I know.
but 7 years, man. And it's all through my wanting to be in this realm of thing. You know what I mean? So the relationship that you build along the way, doing stuff that you're passionate about, that's really the win.
The
in my
more you
opinion.
know,
Yeah.
the more people you know.
And like-minded people come together like for stuff like this. And like I think at the time we were just creatives wanting to figure out how to produce and stuff, and we stuck with it in our own different ways. And it's so cool to see like just the success I see you have, and every time I bump into you at a festival and like just so cool.
Yeah, man. Well, look, we appreciate y'all coming by. Do you have anything else?
No, man. I just wanted to say like y'all's enthusiasm, like you remind me of like the Tom Brady or the Peyton Manning who just sits there and just, what else can I do to make it better? You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much what you are, skate park.
That's how you know. That's how you know he's for real.
That's
about
right.
it. Yeah.
And
every day.
I feel really fulfilled just walking down this path, and like I plan on retiring out of here, and so I'm not going anywhere. Like I want to do as much as I can for this community and help grow it, and then like develop a team around me, and like those people, influence these kids, and then hopefully replace us on these boards and stuff, and continue this going. Like, because I don't want it to stop with us.
Right.
Just
When they build a statue of it, you want to be all jacked up. Alberta State Park. What's up,
I'll
bro?
be jacked up on Mountain Dew or something.
That's right.
There you go. Well, dude, thank y'all so much for coming by, stopping by and chatting with us. I always love talking about it with y'all. Anything we can do, that, let us know. We can share out the events, drop it in our group for sure. Anytime y'all have anything going on, you're part of the Brownwater family. So
That's right.
Everybody watching on the live, we thank y'all. Like I said, the Facebook page is linked in the comments below. Click on that. Go give them a follow. Stay up to date with what they're doing. Bring your kid out to one of the events and get him into the community, right? Yeah, absolutely.
Even if you don't have a board, we got boards.
Yeah, they got
We'll put 'em on
backup
board.
boards for you.
Sure.
And now y'all are getting even more into our territory, which Biloxi for sure is, but crossing over the bridge and coming on to Lemoyne, I mean, that now you're really in our backyard.
Right, yeah,
so.
right over. Just step down.
That's right.
A couple roads down.
That's
let's
right.
put a park out here.
That's fine.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Again, thanks y'all for watching on the live, the replays, and the podcast. Coming up, we got the Biloxi Boat Show in a couple weeks if you want to come out and hang out with us.
14, 15, 16.
That's right. So if you haven't already downloaded the Brownwater Banter app, go do it. It's in the App Store and Google Play, and it's free. Stay up to date with everything that we're doing, and we'll catch you on the next one. If y'all keep tuning in, we'll keep doing them.
Later.